everyone, welcome to another exciting edition of Mamdi's Lounge.
Mamdi's Lounge Season 2 is here, and it keeps getting bigger and better. Our conversations are spicy with guests that give in-depth insights to every topic. It's Mamdi's Lounge, your one-stop shop for great conversations.
We know that when there are crises, women are usually the first responders. They come to the community, they help out.
The bride price is not looked at as placing a value on the woman. It's looked as a commitment.
So I think it is something we should look at. It's endemic in our society. And for us to address it, it's going to take a national call.
Every Thursday, 8 p.m. on AYV TV, Channel 33.
Hello and welcome to yet another edition of your favorite program, Mamdi's Lounge, coming to you from Kabenda Hotel in Freetown. Today in the lounge, I have Lydia Jolie. Lydia is the CEO for Final Touch Consultancy that deals with customer care training and recruitment. Welcome to the program, Lydia.
Thank you very much.
I also have Hannah Fuller here, my usual lounge member, and of course, John Conte. John, welcome yet again to Mamdi's Lounge.
Thank you very much.
John is going to be a regular face in the lounge, so he's here with us today.
I'm here.
All right. So today we want to talk about customer care, and I'm sure one way or the other you may have had to deal with a customer care representative in a bank, hotel, telecoms company, in the market, maybe a tailor or waitress. Some people may have had really good experiences dealing with a customer care rep, some not so good, and some really terrible. So today in the lounge, we hope to dig deeper into this issue, and we might just be able to understand why we have a poor customer service culture in Sierra Leone. We also want to find out how it affects us as individuals, businesses, or even as a nation. We also hope to suggest ways to build a better service culture that is more customer focused. So here on the lounge, like I mentioned, to help me talk about this, I have John Conte, I have Hannah Fuller, and of course, Lydia. So this is Mamdi's Lounge coming to you from Kabenda Hotel, and I am Mamdi Gobe Kamara. We'll be right back after this break.
With MP, your safety comes first. In case of an emergency gas fire, from our gas cans, 1. Use your finger to block the knob opening of your gas can. 2. Use a wet cloth and put it over the flame and the knob. Or 3. Wrap the tank with the wet towel and the flames will go out. Take a rubber bucket and cover the tank. At MP, your safety is our paramount concern.
Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is Mamdi's Lounge. We're coming to you today from Kabenda Hotel in Freetown, and we want to take a look at customer care. We want to dig deeper into this particular issue because I'm sure one way or the other, you may have had, to deal with a customer care rep. Your experience might have been good or not so good or even terrible. So we want to talk about this issue. Like I said, we have with us in the lounge Lydia. Lydia is the head of Final Touch Consultancy that focuses on customer care training and recruitment. Now, Lydia, first of all, what is customer care?
Thank you very much for having me here. Thank you for the platform. Customer care, every time I think about it and I'm like, yeah, that's a very good question. What is customer care? You can think of so many things. Obviously, we are talking about a service. Mm-hmm. We are talking about individuals involved. It's a interaction between two people. Mm-hmm. It's a service from obviously a service provider to a potential customer or to a buyer. But when we talk about customer care, customer service, for me, being in the industry for so many years, dealing with so many people, I think for now, what I've concluded or what I understand, what is really customer care or customer service, it's really based on attitude. But like I said, it's an interaction between two people. And that attitude center in the middle of that interaction, that's exactly what would determine the customer care or the customer service.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll come to you later on. I need you to talk a little bit about the service you offer.
Yes.
But we need to look at the culture of customer service in this country, in Sierra Leone. So guys, customer service. What's your take about this whole issue, especially as it relates to us here in Sierra Leone?
For me, what comes in mind is that customer service relates to how me, as a customer, a consumer, a buyer, or whatever, feels at the end of the service being rendered or the product being bought. So it has to do with if I go into an office or a shop, how the place feels, the ambience is very important. Is it hot, sweaty? How I'm greeted at the entrance, how I'm made to feel welcome or unwelcome, or that I'm bothering that particular staff that I'm talking to, and how well they're able to sell to me. You know, because I might go into a shop and I want this particular product, but then there are other options. But that sales rep or staff of that shop tells me, Madam, I think you should look at this. What about this? You know, and is able to offer a lot more, you know, other than what I went to ask for in the first place. So the person knows their product.
Exactly.
They know how to sell, and they understand that they are not supposed to get tired of me, you know, because I'm asking questions. Because sometimes you go to Kuta Road Market, and when you go Kuta Road, by the time you ask, what's in the price of this? This is not 10,000. Buy or no buy?
And that's it.
This one I almost, yeah, if you want buyer, you want buyer. Basically, it's like you are not supposed to ask questions, you know. But how can I make an informed decision to buy this, and whether it's a good price, whether it's good quality that I'm buying, if you selling do not make me feel that I can ask you questions.
Yeah.
So basically, for me, all of that, the experience is what customer service is to me, you know. So a good customer service or poor customer service. So if my overall feeling or experience is not good, then I would say it's poor customer service.
All right, I'll have John have you say.
Yeah, well, Mamdi, aside public relations, as in the impression you leave on someone for the first time coming in contact with your company, customer service is also that avenue. Now, it would either leave the customer dissatisfied or completely pleased and overwhelmed with a feeling of joy that I came in with a problem and it has been solved. Unfortunately, what happens is companies get to employ people who just want to work. They just want to work. Just give me any work. So they get into customer service, not with the heart and willingness to do it. So they rather leave sour and distasteful impression on people, and they tend to walk away not feeling impressed and completely disillusioned with your company or the service or the product they walked in for. So for me, like I said, aside public relations, customer service is the entry to your company. It could either leave a good impression on the customer, or it could leave them completely disillusioned. Now, there was a time I was talking to a few people and asked them, what do you do? What services do you offer to the customer? They were like, you know, I just answer call. That's an attitude that is caustically dangerous, because you get to transfer that to the client or the customer that will come in. Now, so I asked another question. So when you do things, when someone, you know, would call in and ask you a question and you get to solve a problem they have, what do they say at the end? Hey, thank you, God bless you. Like, do you know you have just solved someone's problem? So it means you should take what you do beyond the point of now you work. You come in every day and you go out at the end of the day. You can't do your work. You should see this as an avenue of solving problems for people, so you leave them satisfied. Because if they come into your business, they walk into your lounge or the reception area and they go back wanting to touch your building, it's a bad feeling. You don't want them to go away feeling that way. You want them to always have the attitude of coming back because they had
recommending you
and recommending you
people.
as the individual and your company. Exactly, Hannah. What people should know is you have a two-pronged impression. A, as an individual, B, as the company. So whenever you fail, know that you are having the same effect on your company. As an individual, they would say, "Una get bad person when they talk to people there, so una company bad." So you have to realize that you leave a good impression, and it's the second best way of having people come back to your company based on how they were impressed with what you do.
Lydia, so now for you to come up with a company that focuses on customer care training and recruitment, for me, it tells me that you saw a problem, which was why you decided to come up with that. So first of all, let's talk about the culture of customer care, customer care culture in customer care service. Sorry, the culture of service in this country. What's your impression? What's your assessment of that?
I think, was it 2 days ago, I had a visitor who came through for training, and we were just talking before he left, and he's like, what I've noticed here is that there is no sense of customer service at all. Anyways, when he says that, for me, I mean, I've been around for a while, and I feel, I'm part of where I am, and I feel bad, for someone to come from outside and make that remarks. So in my mind, it just tells me again that, Lydia, what you're about to do, it's really needed. It's really, really needed. John Conte and Anna just summarized what you asked me earlier. What is customer service? It's very, very broad. It's what I have seen. For me, I have just put it under one umbrella, the attitude. That's just, for me, it covers everything. And when I say attitude, I am not looking at you as a staff member in that particular organization. I'm not looking at you as an employee. I'm looking at you as an individual. I want to know, why do you behave the way you are behaving? So this is something that when I sit back and I'm like, you know what? There is a need. There is a need for me to go out there and share something and use and transform this negativity or negative attitude into a positive one, And if we say we're going to start with organizations, companies, it's good. We have to improve the service, like the guys have just mentioned now. But we still need to go back. If we want to look at customer service in Sierra Leone, we want to see a change in 10 years, 15 years, for us to come in as the final touch consultancy and just focus on the businesses and the people that are already working, I think we'll miss the point. For me, I look at, wait, we need to start, we need to go back. I want to look at the...
When you say we need to go back,
yes,
I want to go back to what was called African hospitality.
Yeah. Yes.
Africans were known, Sierra Leoneans were known as hospitable people. When visitors come to your house, you welcome them.
Yes.
We have a tradition wherein you give cola nuts to the visitor. You give cold water to the visitor to make them feel welcome.
Yes.
You give, the calabash with the cola nut inside. If somebody comes, I remember the days of the war in Liberia when the refugees came. And people hosted them in their homes. They were not related to them. They never knew them, but they felt empathy with their situation at that particular time and were able to host them. But I am lost for words in trying to really understand what has gone wrong. Why is it that we're not able to translate or tap into that hospitality, that culture of hospitality, African hospitality, bring it into our businesses?
Yes.
Because the West, we see them as people who are cold, they're not friendly, everybody minds their own business, but then they're able to give good customer service generally.
Because it's a different setting. If you walk into a store overseas and the cashier doesn't treat you well, he or she could get fired for that. If you report to the manager, you demand on seeing the manager, and you get to complain that this person not treating me fine, you get fired for that.
So what's it wrong?
All right,
with
guys.
her?
So,
What's it wrong? How do we connect the dots?
Yeah.
What went wrong, or where are we going wrong?
Yes.
Okay, that's
So
what
we'll come back to answer that question, Ahana. We'll go for this quick break and we'll come back and continue the program.
Na the EcoBank microfinance, we don't find easy way for you picking them better one to marabambai. We don't find way for put money inside you small business them, no matter how small the business be. EcoBank microfinance, they're also glad for make your business grow. In not Tapado, we ready for give you all the financial support for make you team up Tranga one. So now for come with we on this new journey, we say all you dream then will come true. So now for just come, now the EcoBank microfinance office, we say you go learn how for open up savings and current accounts for you picking them, get money for you small business them, and send money now 33 countries inside Africa, and also open up savings and current accounts. Visit we now any of them branches soon. Begin and end your day with gladdy. EcoBank microfinance with the help you small business them for team up Tranga one.
With MP, your safety comes first. In case of an emergency gas fire from our gas cans, 1. Use your finger to block the knob opening of your gas can. 2. Use a wet cloth and put it over the flame and the knob. Or 3. Wrap the tank with the wet towel and the flames will go out. Take a rubber bucket and cover the tank. At MP, your safety is our paramount concern.
Sign Africa, only the best.
All right, welcome back. This is Mamdi's Lounge, and today we are talking about customer care. Today's edition is coming to you from Kabenda Hotel in Freetown, and I have my guest here, Lydia Jolie. Lydia, she is the CEO for Final Touch Consultancy that offers customer care training and recruitment. I also have Hannah Fuller, of course, my usual long member, and a new addition to the team, John Conte. He's also here with us today to talk about this issue of customer care. Now, before we went on the break, guys, now I personally have had really good and not so good experience, dealing with people as far as customer care is concerned. So, like she mentioned, it's an issue of attitude, But also, sometimes you walk into a bank or, some telecoms company or wherever, somewhere that you expect people to give you good customer service, and then you see somebody that works there and you ask that, oh, I'm here for A, B, C, and D. And he or she will say to you, it's not, I am not in that department, or it's not my concern. So let me fight to the customer care department. Is that what it should be? No. Should there be a special department dealing with the public? No. So you should, Lydia, you...
Well, I mean, we can actually discuss that, agree or disagree. It also depends on the organization setup. Yeah. Obviously, you can go some places where it's more technical. They obviously have to refer you to the more technical people to assist you with your issue. Right. But however, everybody within a company should have an idea of what is going on everywhere. So it's like the hospital, you know, as you come in as a patient, there should be somebody who can do the first 5 must do kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I should be able to say, okay, how can I assist you? Where can I direct you? What is this about? So I'll give you a little bit of first-hand information. Then going further, I can now direct you and say, okay, we have a department who's specialized on so. Would you kindly wait, or let me take you to them? But that's just shutting down the customer as they answer the question. That shouldn't be the way.
If you just leave customer service to customer-facing staff, you have a problem.
You do.
I think the culture in any workplace should be that everybody is a customer service rep, because who can tell who you're going to meet down the steps, you know, and that person is the first person the individual may have met, you know, and that person, it's left on you to leave or make an impression on that potential customer. So if you say, because I'm not a customer facing staff, then you shouldn't ask me questions, then it's a problem.
You know, and one thing where you know, the staff can fail to realize, or what they don't do is, I mean, when they go through basic customer service training, they're told this: a smile is the most contagious thing you can wear on your face. But most times when you walk into places, you see them, as you see them, so you know, say they don't want to talk to you. You should always wear a smile, regardless of what you go through as a staff. I mean, because it gives the impression to the person that he or she is welcome.
And I think also it's sorry, John. I think it's also a situation where, as a staff, I'm not taking that customer as being part of my job. This is why I'm here. I'm actually here to assist you. But I'm looking at him like, okay, there's another one. So that becomes a problem, which goes back.
They can't bother me.
Exactly. This person, they can't bother me. You know?
They don't come back.
From a setting where we are, our chief he calls himself the chief customer care officer. Because he gets to meet people every day on behalf of the company. So he leaves a good impression on them. That's being moved on to every, but obviously in different organizations and settings, like Hannah said, it's based on the attitude of the individual. So you get to let them know that, wear a smile, be nice to people, let them know if they have an issue you cannot solve. Basically, like Lydia said, take down the problem where you get, transfer on to the person, the right person we get for solver. But before you transfer on to the right person we get for solver, brief the person that this now the issues, or this now what the person need, and this now how I think they need to be solved. The other thing important is that you go back and follow up and ask, okay, I don't move the problem to this person. It don't solve now. Once it's solved, get back to me so I get to that person there. So they feel satisfied that the loop is closed. Exactly. So all things don't be worked and done now.
I mean, in this conversation, honestly, what we're trying to bring out, you know, is the honest things that happen to people. And honestly, this issue of customer service is a problem. It's a real challenge. We cannot shy away from it. Now, I want us to, what do you think? What can we attribute to the way some of these customer service reps behave?
Not just reps, Mamdi. Let's not say the reps, because everybody. We're saying now everyone. So we don't restrict it.
Mamdi, Hannah made a point. We were low here, come back. Say, companies not just left the customer service business to the one that we're not just customer service, then they work. That's the point we need to re-echo.
Exactly.
So, because the earlier everybody understand, and the better it will be for the companies, then it will get better outlook. I don't want to mention nationality or always, but then if you walk into certain shop, then we'll give you the price and tell you, say, pay for an afternoon, or you can take the other one later on. Wouldn't you want to do that? You go do one quick, you do one. You pay for one. Then say, you know what, you trust you know, so you can come back later on. And not to say na fake something they will give you on a product you go well quick. Say pay for an come we get the other balance money. You can't left no worry. You go take the thing anytime you want. So you know what that does? It keeps you going back to them. Because if they go find out if you didn't have a position, a situation where you get the resources but not enough to get what you want, you can bank on them. You can go up and then come back later on at the end of the day. So it needs that kind of impression.
I also like what Anna said about the hospitality, the example that you gave. Because if you take it from that point, you see that this is part of our culture. Welcoming people, you know, offering them cold water and so on and so forth. But then if you remove that, then there is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that we are facing now.
Exactly.
Because if we're coming from that type of culture, from that kind of background, it shouldn't be difficult for you to, because that's you. Because customer service is what it's me, it's Lydia, you know, interacting with this individual. It's the way I carry myself, the way, you know, being positive and thinking positive way, and so on and so forth. That's just what it is. There's no magic about it. But if that is taken out of the way, then there is a problem.
The other
that
thing,
we need to
the other
look
thing
into.
is, Mamadi, you're absolutely right. The other thing is, you know, people, customer service, customer care, people really don't have in mind that they're solving problems.
Yes.
And they don't even realize that if you're employed, if you're an employee, you were brought in to solve problems. And if you don't, the employer would not be grading you nicely at the end of the year. So they don't realize that. They're not even thinking if there are problems that they solve.
Also,
So
John,
person can come back to me and say, but that person is good way to solve problems. You know?
Well, you mentioned something earlier that people just, you know, take some of these jobs to earn a living.
Yeah.
For them, that's bottom line, that's what it is. You know,
Exactly.
they don't care about what comes, the extras that comes with it. But also, I personally think maybe, you know, in Thailand, we are very familiar. We also tend to bring this familiarity into everything we do. You know, so for example, let me tell you, I went to, my friend and I went to a gym in town, and before we got into the facility, she said to me, "Where you do go and I know they talk Creole, I did speak English." You understand? But then I was like, "What's your problem?" So we went in there, of course, in my usual self, you know, hey, I will not do anybody, try to be familiar, friendly, basically. And then she went on the treadmill and she was doing her thing, and then later, some guy walked up to her and was, "Hello, how are you, ma'am?" I said, "Oh, I'm good." And she kept on doing her thing. And then the guy stood there and she said, "Is there a problem?" "Oh, no, I just can't him up." And then he went off. He never came back to her. Then another lady came in, of course, in the usual familiar way, she said hello and all of that. And then this guy, he's there as the trainer, and this lady was trying to do some things, and then he said, "Now, so you make? Go to make so yeah? Like when you fat so."
Oh.
You know, I mean, you understand? Yes. But so, my friend just looked at me, and then when we went outside, she said to me, "So you see the reason why I said I'm not going to speak?" Sometimes, when you talk to some of these, especially people that you don't see, but you require service from them, when you speak English to them, the way they relate with you is totally different.
That's true.
So I think this familiarity thing also.
Mamdi, you brought a very important observation.
Yes.
You made it. It's something I've been thinking about. How our mother tongue affects our customer service, you know, in terms of speech, the tone of voice and all of that. I observe that Creole does not necessarily help us. There's a certain way you talk to people in a bank or wherever. Go to Doyanda.
Yes. Yes.
Go
Wait me.
bar. You know, those things.
You say food.
Those, yes. By the time you say it in a in the context of providing a service to someone, it now starts to sound offensive, like rude, you know. But if we're conversing together, you know, as friends, it's okay, you know. But by the time you start saying "ba," "oh by under," you know, what do I beg, yeah, you know, and the tonation, everything is just wrong. It's off. Then the other person starts getting angry. Now, so they talk to me before you know, there's a whole fight, you know. And it is a problem. And for me, this is where I was trying to come from when I said, go back to where we came from, where we come from, that place of hospitality, warm, kind-hearted people. What went wrong? So when it comes to business now, we're not able to bring in those qualities that make us Africans into the place of business, you know. So for me, I think the English, the language is a problem. The Creole, I don't know. But having said that, it will take us back to the home. It will take us back to the home. Because sometimes it's how we were brought up. How we were spoken to when we were kids. Nobody would ask us, how do they feel today, this morning? You know, how the school? Mama, I like you scat, or you know, that sort of thing. So we were not taught how to compliment people. We were not taught how to see good in other people and be courteous. Yes, exactly. So because these are the things you take to the workplace. When you meet a customer, you now say, "Oh, excuse me, ma, how the day? What you want? I can help you with a smile." You know, but these are the problems. So it's like, because maybe you were not brought up in that setting, everybody is like, it's a war.
But again, like you said, you just said some few words in Creole which sounds very good, very polite and very professional. So we can debate the issue about the Creole. It's a yes and a no at the same time. Because you can really have those professional people that can have a very decent conversation in Creole and it all sounds very, very good. The familiarity that you spoke about, that is something that I picked up way back, and I struggle. You know, you constantly have to monitor the guys on the floor and say, guys, be careful, pay attention. What are you saying? You know, sometimes, you know, culture shock. Sometimes, like I will say it. I'm like, because now I also give them feedback. Because sometimes it's so like it's an everyday kind of way of talking. So if somebody doesn't like mention it or bring it up to your attention, you wouldn't see anything wrong. So I will tell the guys at the office, I say, guys, if somebody come and look for Anna, oh, I want to speak to Anna. Oh, which one? Now that short one, now that black one, now that bump one. I'm like, guys, I said, I have never heard anywhere else where people describe people like this. Like you can say, what is the surname? Which Anna? Is it Anna Fuller? You know, if there are two, you say exactly. So the person should be able to know the difference between the two Anna they're looking for. Are constantly, and the guys at the office are like, Lydia, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm like, yes, there is.
Everything is wrong with that.
You can't. So you see, it's those things where the familiarity, this is how we talk at home, this is how we talk at the office, and this is just us. But then it also goes back to the organization that is employing the staff. What do you want? How do you want your people to talk to your customer? So it's that
Linda,
customer
I think
service.
it's, and guys, I think it has to do with the fact that many businesses, institutions who render service, even if it's not a service, but they, you know, they sell something, never have thought through the issue of customer service. Neither do they don't take it seriously. The few that take it seriously are not bold enough to go all the way. Because yes, you do your mystery shopping wherein somebody comes and goes into your institution or your business and does mystery shopping. As in they act like they're coming to do something. You know? But your staff do not know, you know, and they observe and then they now give their reports. Those recommendations, do those institutions take them all the way? You know? Because one of the things I know is that if you are somebody who deals with customers, you have a policy that all staff should have name tags. You know, the police, when you see a police, they have their name. So I can identify the police. Because there's a problem. Sometimes people look alike. Anna, you can't be sure that this is the person I saw.
So before you continue with your line of thought, the other side to the only way you can do, not all my will walk into you banking hall or you customer service hall, Sabi. So maybe something the person can do. As he walk into the hall, so tell and say, morning, my name is John Conte, which you allow do for you.
True.
You know, so then they can form part of
but that's so. But basically, identification of staff. Because people hide under the fact that they are anonymous. You cannot really point them out or call them out. So when I face you and you behave rudely, now your business. Nothing on the common inside it. Because go up to my account, you go meet me, boss. Not be me, you see, you sure? You know, so it is a problem. So I think that the institutions or whatever businesses need to take it seriously in the first place. Serious enough, whether it's the public sector, because I don't want to leave them behind. Because That's another place where you get poor.
It's non-existent.
And it's now
zero.
it's given that this is how it is, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But it's not okay.
So talking about this is how it is and this is how it should be. I remember I had an experience one day in a bank, and there was this lady, we're in this queue waiting to be attended to, and then she kept taking checks and whatever it is from the back, from the her colleagues. But the usual way we behave as some Sierra Leoneans, really. You go to a place, something is going on wrong, but you cannot say it. But no patience. So everybody was there waiting, and then we were there. I went there, it was like 10, 15 minutes, and this lady kept doing the same thing. You see her colleagues who come, but give me this money quick here. Would you attend to this for me? And she never said anything to us. So at some point I said to her, say, madam, you not think to say what you do so wrong? Oh, let me workmates there. And then I said, so if now you workmates in, you ignore me, and that was when everybody took it up.
Start talking now, that's it.
Now so, and and then I raised the issue up. Of course, I have a friend in the office at a higher level, and then she said to me, Mama, don't be careful what you go do now, so no more. So they're talking about the institutions that they need. Sometimes you need. I know you employ people, you don't expect them to behave in a certain way, but they do anyway. But when you get feedback from people like customers, you're supposed to take it up. But when the employer or the big boss comes back and says to you, oh, well, what we go do? So the problem still continues.
That's it. And like Anna was saying about the consequences, because to me also that was also one aspect of organization and customer service and all that I really picked up in my early days, where and this is why actually the final touch want to really come and close the gap by the grace of God. I think even if we don't touch everybody, but I think we want to make that difference. You have organizations where there is no system. Like you said, you give feedback, you're expecting some kind of feedback, reaction or action from the boss, and I also spoke about some kind of feedback when either be the staff, either be the customer, any kind of feedback that comes from staff, even the big boss, they need to know what are the staff thinking about the company, because also as a staff you can also be facing challenges. Who do you talk to? You have an HR, you have the CEO or somebody. There should be somebody listening to the staff as well. And also the same to customers. Feedback from customers is very, very important. It's not to be taken light, because at the end of the day, those are the people, those are the reason actually why you open your doors in the morning. So if you give your feedback to a boss or a CEO of a company, and they just like, oh well, what can we do? That is very, very sad.
Some of them really rely on the fact that we've been around for so long, we have so many people that we deal with. So
that's it. Yes. Our business will continue
anyway,
with you or without you. But they forget the word of mouth as well, And then nowadays there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of people coming up with more serious-minded and so on and so forth. So that's what also one of the points where the final touch works on. Like, you work with an organization, you train them on customer service. You're not just going to leave them like that. You need to come up with a plan. How do we monitor that what we've taught this, because it's also costly for the company. So how do we monitor these people that they are doing exactly what you've told them? You've paid for them, we've trained them. How do you know that they are doing what they're supposed to do? And then with that, the performance, will it actually relate to their appraisal or to a salary increase at the end of the year? Because all those, that's why I say customer service and performance is broad.
They need a form of motivation.
Yes.
All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
performance.
I'll have to pause you. Sorry, Hannah. Pause. I'll have to pause you there and then go for a quick break. Oh, by the way, Lydia, final thought. You have to give us some small thing for your advertisement. That's a joke. No, that's a joke. Let me just remind our viewers that this is Mamdi's Lounge. Oh, so at this point in the program, this is season 2, so we are actually encouraging, potential, how do you call them, Hannah? Advertisers, yes. Potential advertisers to, contact us and be a part of what's happening on Mamdi's Lounge. This is a good platform to advertise, so you can contact us on a number that we'll give you before the end of this program. On the screen? On the screen, yes. We'll put the number on the screen. You can contact us. This is a good platform for you to advertise and I'm sure you'll be glad you did. We'll be right back after this quick break.
With MP, your safety comes first. In case of an emergency gas fire, from our gas cans, 1. Use your finger to block the knob opening of your gas can. 2. Use a wet cloth and put it over the flame and the knob. Or 3. Wrap the tank with the wet towel and the flames will go out. Take a rubber bucket and cover the tank. At MP, your safety is our paramount concern.
All right, welcome back to Mamdi's Lounge. Today we're coming to you from the Kabenda Hotel in Freetown, and we are talking about customer service. I should say some of you really watch, we don't get experience, with customer service. Good one, not so good ones. But we try to talk about them because we think to say also people in then various categories there, we talk about a market, dealer, or, telecoms company, banks. All of those people, they are supposed for the treat with the customers in a certain way, we make you come back. But not so many of we don't get that kind of great experiences. So we'll try to talk about them because it's a problem, and we want for various perspectives. Again, at the program today, Lydia Jolie. Lydia is a Final Touch consultancy head. This consultancy deals with customer care training and recruitment. I also have the new addition to the lounge, John Conte, here with us today, and of course Hannah Fuller is in the lounge. Now guys, this customer service issue that we're talking about, Lydia, you are the expert, more or less. What are the benefits, like having a good customer service structure in place? What are the benefits to your institution, to growth, finances, or
I think obviously any business or any organization, I'm sure they open their doors to make money at the end of the day. It's the figures that will really keep that organization going. So the benefits of a good customer service or having a group of employees that have positive attitude, it actually ends up to that number at the end of the day. And it also contributes to the repetition of service. You build that customer service relationship with your customer, which obviously causes the service to be repeated. You create that loyalty group of customers that continuously keep coming to you, because you want to create an impression that even if tomorrow, because this is also one of the questions that I usually ask the guys at the office, I said, okay, we are selling this product, okay? And tomorrow, somebody comes right next door to us and open up the same type of service, selling the same product. What do you think people will drive past them and still come to us? What do you think? Because it's the same product. Whatever they will buy from us, they will buy it next door. So to me, it's not even anymore about what are you selling. It's the customer service, it's that relationship. Those are the benefits at the end of the day. It's how you sell, it's your attitude, it goes a long way. And then obviously at the end of the day, it shows the difference in the bank account.
Exactly. And if you cannot make your staff or your employees to see that there is a direct relationship between how they serve the customers and their salaries, then they're always going to be in a position of loss. When they understand that particular equation or maths, then I think your customer service issues or problems will improve.
Exactly. And also, Mamdi, sorry, I just want to go back. I think someone mentioned about recruitment, getting the right people. I think that's also a very key to the business.
How do you determine the right people, Lydia?
That's that. And
because they just want a job.
Yes,
they don't want for dinner
really
street.
So
they will tell you everything. I get 10 years experience in this. I get this degree. I can work under stress. When they're faced with customers who cannot, who are angry.
Yes.
What kind of just they start abusing the customer.
True.
Yes, but I also think that maybe even with institutions, I mean, so for me, it's difficult to see somebody and tell that this person, fits the bill. Like this person is great at this particular thing that I'm taking her for. So how about, because normally in my field, as much as you come in with your qualification and whatever it is, there are opportunities for training.
Yeah. Of course.
Train people. And people really with training, they get better at what they do.
Yes.
So how about also people taking these things seriously, like institutions, or even, I know you cannot train a market woman how to be, a market woman, how to be more customer, whatever it is.
I'm sure you can. I want to go down to that level, actually.
But ladies, there's something maybe we need to zoom in on a little bit. Like with our doctors and our policemen, the ratio of customer to the customer care officer is virtually almost the same. Now, so they come in, customer care officer would have to see 10, 20 people a day. Now, which is quite high in terms of what they should actually do. It's the same with our doctors and the police. I mean, our doctors, the ratio of patient to doctor is quite awful. Now, but then with our customer care in the other institutions, the setup within we for Epidem for understand that it shouldn't be a burden to them. Enough for be a burden to them. Like Anna and Yusuf, Lydia don't say. They actually see and say this one. It tied to waiting they come into the company. Now, if they understand, say, if the sources of income for the company cut off, the company they fold off.
That's it.
Then now they get a responsibility for keep then sources, then they go in.
Yes. So and I think, John, it should be mentioned from the word go. That's why we also want to tap into this recruitment agency, because at the end of the day, I personally, as much as obviously the qualifications they will always be important, but I have changed my interview tactics. I ask more questions on your personal attitude. I ask you a question to say, if you wake up in the morning and your mother is annoyed with you, maybe because of ABCD, and she just starts shouting at you, how do you react? What do you do? If your houseboy does ABCD, how do you react to that? You want to see how the individual manages their daily. Just very simple, and you can pick up a lot of things from that. And I have managed to see through those very silly examples. I'm not employing you to know what do you do in the morning or whatever. I want to know if you can type this, how fast, how can you talk to a customer, and so on and so forth. But I cannot ignore the fact that you are not able to manage your temper when your child breaks a cup. Because if you cannot do that, then you're telling me that I am very patient with irate customers. You can bring anybody to me. I will manage them. I will calm them down. But when your child, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So I actually employ based on attitude.
Exactly. So
it takes us a long way. You can always train. I'm not saying that I'm going to ignore the qualifications, but if you see that potential, you see the positive attitude, you see that this person, yes, obviously, okay, they fall in between what I'm looking for, and they have a positive attitude, I can train this person in 3, 4, 5, 3 months, this person will be at this level, then you go for it. But where we go wrong is where we don't look at all that, and some people, even when you are doing the interview, they actually, you can see the facial expression, like, are we done? Like, why are you asking me I've seen that. Why are you asking me that question? Like, obviously, I know. You can read it, but you as an organization, if you tend to ignore those signs, you give this person a job, you are putting yourself in a big trouble for tomorrow.
I like your submission, Lydia. It's so important. And this is, for any young person listening or watching this show, you're in university or you're out of university searching for a job. It's not just the first class honors degree that you're getting or that you have under your name. It's about your attitude. That is really important. That for me is everything. How would you react in situations? And interestingly, what you mentioned here is how body language even says a lot about you, and how answering a question that you don't think has anything to do with the job says what you could do in a situation that's similar to that.
Right.
You know, so I really like what you said, and I hope that, you know, everybody watching, you know, bears that in mind.
You know, and maybe as we I mean, everything up. I mentioned police and doctor and just now. We can always think, say, when we talk about customer care based on the banks, the telcos, and few of the other places, then they witness when woman go inside hospital with belly, with nurse, then they out and they talk to her.
Yes, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Go the other time where somebody get accident, he go to hospital, in shoulder shift. The doctor say they're not paying money. They touch her, and the person wasn't paying.
Wow.
So what you care about first now, the money you get, or now the comfort we go bring to the person we go inside, the patient we go inside. So it should be the same attitude. You care about the money, but if the patient or the customer not get satisfaction, it will take your money go.
Of course.
And for you, if you get bad impression, you will take that away, like Lydia say, word of mouth, and go say, no, not going to the hospital.
Yes.
The doctor and then nurse, and they don't care about people.
Yeah.
So the same with bank, with telcos, with all of
The
them.
Makituma them,
Exactly.
taxi driver them, and all of that. And
I want to give an example of the fuel stations. This has always been my best. And when I'm working on my plan, it's actually amazing. I'm going to be really visiting this lounge quite a bit, because I really want to touch all angles. And the fuel station, for me, it's always been amazing. You obviously compare where you're coming from and what you are seeing. I know that in South Africa, if let's say the NP structure, basically the same. You see the cars driving in, you see the, how do you call them, fuel attendants? Yes. You actually see them standing. As the car is coming through, they're directing you in, they run to your car, ask you what do you want, how can they assist you. As they are pouring the fuel for you, they are cleaning your windscreen and so on. Can I check your water? Can I check this? And I'm not saying that everybody should do the same, but what I'm saying is the basic. That's welcoming the person. I have drove through fuel stations so many times, and each time is the same disappointment. And I'm like, why are you here? Like, I tell my guys at work, like, I did not come, sometimes I go low. Like, I did not come to your house, wake you up in the morning and say, come to work. You actually came to work because you need this job. So do what you need to do. You will drive through. Sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't. And you see them, maybe they are busy doing something. Or they're actually waiting for you, like, you know where to go. Okay? And if maybe there's a queue or something is wrong, and you can stand there, and then the minutes you stand maybe for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then as you reach, then they tell you, petrol no there. And I'm thinking, okay, you could have actually come to us earlier on so that we don't spend this much time and tell us there's no petrol or there's no diesel or whatever, so we can drive to the next station. So it's those things that that person probably they don't know any better.
So even talking about petrol
thinking
stations.
on the spot of the moment and trying to offer a solution to the person. You know, instead of waiting for you to come, they could have just told you. Same thing with the security people and the receptionist. Those two sets of people, they don't know the difference. They don't know their jobs. The security wants to do the job of a receptionist. You understand? You know, who that you can't tell. Your security, make sure that I'm okay. I'm not coming here with arms and ammunition to cause a problem or whatever.
Greet me,
your
welcome
problem,
me, that's it.
You don't have a problem with who I'm coming to see. But the security men always want to do the job of the receptionist.
Even with
I know.
talking about this familiarity, back to the issue of familiarity. She was talking about petrol stations. Now you go to stations, and sometimes they don't have 500 millions change to give, and they will just act as if it's okay.
To take it.
You know, like they'll just walk off without saying a word to you. So maybe they need to give you like 250 or 2,500 or something. They will just walk away, and then you now ask them, "Excuse me, is this all with the balance?" Oh, now 5 block ma. So it's time if I
It's
drive
my
into your
right.
station and
Yes.
my money is 500 leo shots, chances are you will not, give me my fuel. But then it's okay to just, and then when you ask, they say, my friend, you have to give me this money because you always know that you sell your fuel for 75, there should be 500. Oh,
Yes,
so give it to me.
change.
And then they'll look at you, hey, for 590.
Yes.
So these are all the things. So I hope those people who are in the business of this petroleum business,
Yes.
the
Yes,
banks,
true.
the telecoms, these are issues that we face as customers all the time. We know that, yes, you cannot, some people come to the office looking all ready for work. But then at the end of the day, what they exhibit is different from what you actually bargain for.
Yes.
So take note of these things because they are happening. And these might just destroy your business without you even knowing it. Because most times what they care about is their salaries at the end of the day. Once they're paying, they don't care what the employers go through in getting to that point of paying the salaries and all of that. So employers out there, you need to take note of this. We're talking about it now because this is something, sorry, before we come to Mamdi's Labs, we always try to gauge opinions of people on a particular topic or a given topic. And the outpouring of from people of this issue of customer care is really something very serious. We need to take it very seriously. It's a problem. People that attend to, the front end, how do I call them now? People that deals with the public in a given institution don't really live up to expectations. Sometimes they're rude. I know there are some customers who are really.
Of course, that's true. We should not forget about that. We have some nightmare of customers as well. We can, let's say we are customers, we can also be very terrible.
Yeah, I know that.
So.
But you are trained for that.
That's it.
You're on the receiving
That's
end,
it.
so you don't have to really lash out on the customer.
Because at the end of the day, that's what we also try to put into our training is how do you deal with those customers, those difficult ones? They are there. You have employees, who, they have no respect for their jobs and whatever. And you have some customers who are they wake up in the morning and like, today I'm going to fight. Today they're going to see my color and whatever. What do? I've been employed to find a solution to that problem. So that's also another thing. You do not take it personal. Because I always say, if you are not in this environment, if you are not a staff of this organization, probably you pass that customer on the street, they will not even address you.
Right.
But because they found you in this box and they have a problem with this box, they need to address to somebody, and you are that somebody. So you just have to be the bigger person and find the solution to that.
All right, guys. So in rounding up quickly, I'll start with John. How do we surmount this challenge? Because clearly it is a challenge.
Wow.
Quick. What do you think?
Lydia, they take the first step forward, the biggest one. For established way, forget them people they also continuously trained.
Yes.
So that they go know. And also when they get trained and employed, them for always remember, like I said earlier, that's not problem then they solve. So no matter how the customer walk into your office or outside you there and think say you want to bring the heavens down on you, if you always know say now you get the service where you want. Are you able for provider? If you're not being needed, I know they count to you. So if you always make sure say the person left satisfied at the end of the day, because that's the only way we'll keep and we'll come back. But also we're able to build generally your image. The also other thing also where we need to understand the staff of companies. Now we are the human face of the companies. All right, if we don't put forward a good human face, forget it. The company will also get a bad human face. So we understand that going forward, and then we have to relate to customer.
Thank you, Hannah.
All the time.
Okay, well, what me go say for we all is that whenever you find yourself in a position where they treat you bad as a customer, not accept them, not settle for the bad service, report them. But the reason why the poor customer service they continue now because we salon people them. We get this habit for say I don't want to get us in trouble. I don't want to lost in work. But then you don't get rights for complain. If you don't want to keep us in trouble, then not complain, please. Not go Facebook and go post say this person that so then people and then that so please. Facebook not get for solve the problem.
True.
Not so then the customer service people go to the institutions. Almost all institutions get customer service desks or then get numbers. Get if you they go na bank, if they go na whosoever, get their number and always call the people I get this situation and I'm not glad with the way you staff behave. Get names, learn for take names. See the managers, the direct what you call our supervisors of certain people or them people and deal with the issue, because each one of we, when we take the action and they would help for solve the problem small.
Thank
so
you.
not walk away from a situation, do something about it.
Yes. Well, just a quick one on what Anna said. I think for me, that has also been a very big experience where you don't really get customer complaining that much. We go bare. We'll manage it. You know, that's how it is, which is very how for do. That is very, very wrong. So therefore, I really appreciated when I see that customer was bold enough and open up. Quickly call them aside. I want to hear. What are they saying? I want to take that feedback seriously because you don't get many.
Right.
And you only need your feedback to improve your service. So my closing point also, training, very important. Recruitment procedures, very, very important. Monitoring at the end of the day. You don't just employ people and then go and do the work, whether you are doing the wrong thing or you are doing the right thing or whatever. So we have all these ways that, you know, all that can be broken down to actually achieve a good customer service.
Right, thank you very much. Well, Mamdi, you know, you're here for everybody. I mean, in summing up, quickly, we don't talk about customer care, of course. We don't establish the fact that each and every one of us around this room don't get, you know, a taste of somewhat good or not so good customer care, and I'm sure you say we watch video, don't get some sort of experience. So everybody don't give you submission, but quickly let's just note waiting John and Lydia talk about continuous training. So if you're out there, you know, an institution or organization or employing agency, the issue of training is very important. You can never go wrong with constant training of your staff for bringing the best out of them. Hannah also talk about, John talk about, being in a company. Now we're not the face of the company. So what would they do with somebody? I don't hear about stories about people like doing great things with customers, and at the end of the day, they get big rewards. You know, so it happens. And also, Anna talk about not accepting bad service. Oh, me not one person. I don't. If you want to give me some kind of the service will go to you and you want to ask for say you're right, I don't take it. So it has to be, we don't make personal decisions, personal, you know, don't take personal notes of them kind of thing. If somebody wants to offer you, because that way they're going for every institution for provide better service for you. But if you decide say, how for do or not try to make the exact response, you know they help yourself, you know they help the institution, you know they help the country. So we need to take note of those things so that at the end of the day we all could be, you know, better people and better
Sierra Leone.
So on behalf of all of us, it's been Mamdi's Lounge. Until we come your way next time, it's been an absolute pleasure being on your TV screens. Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Mamdi's Lounge.
Mamdi's Lounge Season 2 is here, and it keeps getting bigger and better. Our conversations are spicy with guests that give in-depth insights to every topic. It's Mamdi's Lounge, your one-stop shop for great conversations.
We know that when there are crises, women are usually the first responders. They come to the community, they help out.
The bride price is not looked at as placing a value on the woman. It's looked as a commitment.
So I think it is something we should look at. It is endemic in our society. And for us to address it, it's going to take a national call.
Every Thursday, 8 p.m. on AYV TV, Channel 33.